All right, welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see, we've made a lot of progress. So I'll be honest, this was shot beginning in January. I didn't do a lot of video work in December because, December is busy with the kids, Christmas, parties, all kinds of stuff. But I did want to give a little bit of an update here. And in that time, we were able to get the spindles on the tractor. We were able to get the steering mounted. We used the old steering from the old frame. So we just had to modify it and make it work. But yeah, Dad was able to get some spindles made up, and we were able to use the old radiator brackets and fan brackets and just get those mounted in there. And everything right now is just tack welded in. So Dad would work on it during the month, kind of tack it in there. I'd stop in and say, yeah, I like it, or we need to make a change here or there. So you can see I'm putting the gas tank in the front. That's where our fuel system is going to all be. The fuel pump, the tank, all that's going to be new up front. He's got the roll cage mounted on there. He's got the seat in there. Again, everything is just kind of sitting there right now. This is the old steering tower from the old tractor. We are going to modify where our switches and stuff go. On the old tractor, the switches were down low, and it would kind of cause a problem. You'd bump them, you'd break a switch off. So we're going to move the control panel to above the steering wheel this time, which is going to be nice. But yeah, you can see things are coming along really nice. We're looking at where we're going to put our gauges, where the steering is going to go. That's kind of what we're working on right now with that steering column in there. Our biggest thing today, I think, is going to be getting the steering hooked up. After we have the front end pretty much done and ready to go, we got to be able to get things moving, and that steering column and having the steering linkage all hooked up is really going to help us move forward with the project. But here you can kind of see the box that Dad mocked up. All the switches are going to be right there above, kind of just where that brown tape is. The tape is just kind of holding his box together. We're going to get that all welded up, but all the gauges will be inside there. It'll be kind of nice, neat. But here's going to be the kind of cool thing. So on the old tractor, the throttle was up by the steering wheel. It was just something Dad had. With this tractor and the way we're strapped in now with harnesses, we're going to go with a new throttle right there by the seat. And you can't have a Viking themed tractor without a Viking sword. So that was kind of a cool addition that Dad's been working on. You can see here we're kind of mocking up where the weight bracket's going to be. This is the old weight bracket. We do have to make some changes to it, cut it a little bit narrower, but you can see how much narrower we are compared to where the old tractor was. So we're moving here now. We're just kind of work on some linkage. We actually found some nice 3/8 inch socket extensions. That's what we use for all of our steering linkage. Now, this part here is probably, in my opinion, the most important part for the integrity and structure of the mini rod. So we are putting in our cross braces here. The cross braces are important for added stability, added structure stability, to keep everything from twisting and bending and shifting side to side. But this is also where the hitch gets attached to the tractor. So the hitch will get attached where the X meets and then go out towards the back. So the hitch ends up being between 16 and 20 inches long when you're all said and done. But it's really important how we wanted to hook this all up. So we really kind of took our time and walked through it and talked about the angles and made sure we had everything right. And so that's what we're doing kind of here. We're cutting those pieces, getting those pieces set in place, and then we are going to tack weld them into place. So it kind of consists of cutting the angles that we need, and then measuring and taking out and remeasuring, making sure we got the right length, and then we're kind of tacking some brackets into place there. You can see this, but now you can kind of see there's a little X underneath. That's going to be right underneath the dry shaft, basically. And what's nice about where this X is located, that's also going to give us a nice attachment point for our drive shaft cover. So a lot kind of goes off of this X, and it's kind of one of the most important things. You're going to see this in a lot of mini rods built like this, that they all use this X cross member in there, and it's really kind of an integral part of the whole build. So yeah, once we were happy with our angles and how things were cut and how we kind of notched the two pieces to kind of miter basically them together, we go ahead and we just tack everything up. And you can kind of really get a good idea of how big that X is and how far it travels. It goes all the way to basically the back of the transmission, all the way to the back of the rear end, and it's a really important part of the structure to keep everything stable, to keep things from twisting. This is some relatively heavy steel that we've got here. Once he makes the tabs for the hitch, that'll be relatively heavy. And for now, we're just going to tack these all together, make sure it's where we all want it to be. And then once we build some other things out, then we'll pull this all out and we will weld it. So a lot of this tractor right now is just tack welded together. We will eventually, once we start pulling things apart and moving and getting them ready for paint, then we will pull them out, weld them up, put them back in, and then make sure everything fits good before we do our official teardown. So yeah, it's been a busy month for Dad in December. He's gotten a lot of work done in that amount of time, and it's helping really move that project forward when I can't be there because of kids playing basketball or other family events. So and it's really helped keep this project on task and keep us moving forward, because we are right at the halfway point of the build, in my opinion, and I think we are right on schedule. If you like what you're seeing, like this video, share it and subscribe to the channel.